nature has a way of showing you who you really are. Out Come the Wolves was the original title of that classic Duran Duran song, Hungry Like the Wolf. Actually, in all seriousness, it is a Shudder original, written and directed by Adam McDonald, who has done films like Backcountry. Remember that one, folks. You'll definitely get flashbacks to Backcountry as you'll watch this particular film. And he did Pyewacket. Check out his IMDb page for the full list of his work. And this was also written by Anuka Okuma, and was written by and stars Joris Jarsky as Kyle, who is a hunter, along with Sophie, played by Missy Peregrine, who is an FBI, and Stick It. Who remembers the film Stick It? Back in the 2000s, they just put any old goddamn concept on film, as opposed to now, where they just put it on a streaming service. Also, there's a character named Nolan, played by Damon Runyon Business. Okay, I'm done making jokes, because this is about 3 hunters who go off into the woods, and then wolves eventually attack. Eventually. I say eventually because about halfway through the movie is when things actually kick in. You get a few little pieces of info about why these characters are in these particular situations in their life, that is, and why they have certain motivations, and why Sophie's choice in people she interacts with, could end up backfiring on her. Yeah, this is about as basic of a concept as you can get, and while I am thrilled that people got work, I don't understand why it took 3 people to write this. I really don't. I mean, even to do the story. I think this is a story anybody could basically hack out within a day. A day if you just really try. There were a few decent splashes of violence, and sure, you could buy into the character motivations if the characters weren't monumentally one-dimensional and fucking stupid. And unfortunately, that's what this is. So any of the positives were immediately negated by the fact that this is just elements of Backcountry and The Edge if they had a baby. A very, very, very stupid fucking baby that decided to make really, really bad decisions constantly for the 87-minute runtime. If you can't see where this film is going, then I really don't know what to tell you. And predictability does not mean that a film is immediately stamped out as far as potential goes. This is boring. It was very boring. It's on Shudder. Check it out if you want to. 3, 2, 1. Spoilers. So, basically, Sophie's choice in, men kind of leads to not her downfall, but some bad shit happening. She is engaged to Nolan, but it also turns out she has a past with Kyle. They were friends. They did hook up once when they were 18, but they were drunk, and it was a mistake. And I'm sure this won't come back to bite anybody in the ass. It does, because Kyle and Nolan do have some sparring back and forth. Nolan is trying to write a book or a novel or whatever about his experiences. We don't really find out much of his work other than that. And Sophie's choice is to stay at home because she is no longer hunting. She couldn't kill a deer, so she stays home. Also, she's a vegan. And Kyle takes Nolan out, and things seem to be going okay, but Nolan gets upset when, Kyle won't kill a deer after he arrows it a couple times. And then we get Nolan being a little bit upset when he shoots at another deer that ends up going off and ends up getting killed by wolves. So instead of being smart and, backing away slowly, they decide to be stupid. Nolan gets attacked and basically left for dead, even though he is constantly saying, please don't leave me. And then Kyle goes back. Sophie gets upset, and Sophie's choice is to go back out into the woods. I'll stop the Sophie's choice jokes one of these days when people stop naming their character Sophie. They go out into the woods. Kyle ends up getting dispatched by being stupid. Look, I'm not saying that I would be a very good hunter, and I'm not saying that I would be, able to handle this stuff. That's why I don't go into the goddamn woods and hunt. You want to hunt? Be my guest. But understand that nature is eventually going to draw your number, and you are going to be fucked. So Nolan isn't dead. He's kind of stumbling around. Just before Kyle gets dispatched, he ends up spilling some of his fuel. Not all of it, though, and he can't arrow or knife or shoot the animals quickly enough due to the magic of editing and stupidity. And basically, Sophie ends up tumbling down a hill. She should have listened to Stranger Things with Running Up the Hill. I've not actually ever seen Stranger Things. I just know that's a song in it. And she ends up finding Nolan. after basically breaking her wrist and killing a goddamn wolf, the alpha wolf, as it were. And she finds Nolan, and then they find Kyle. We'll come back for him. And yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. I mean, like, there are a couple other details, I'm sure. Just no. This just isn't good. Like, it's just, I mean, out come the wolves, out come the bad characters. It's actually to the point where it's almost impressive how inept this movie is. And the great thing about it is I can bring on the producer here, and I can bring him on to say that what you want to do is you want to take care of animals. And if you're going to do something nasty, then you got to make sure that you understand that the animals will eventually get you. Yeah, they will, won't they? Okay. So you didn't like Out Come the Wolves. I mean, you just heard me talking about it, and you give it like 1 meow out of 5? That's it? That's what you give it? So yeah, that's basically it right there, folks. Out come the wolves, and out go the stupid characters. 2 of the 3 survive, and it renders the whole thing goddamn pointless. Doesn't it? Okay, alright. I give it an F, I'm sorry. I'm not saying that the crew isn't talented. I'm not saying the actors shouldn't get bigger and better projects, but I mean, seriously, this was bargain basement. This was like a short film stretched to 87 minutes, where really nothing happens, and even when stuff happens, nothing really occurs. So yeah, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, and Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.